Set in Taishou, Japan, 1912 to 1926, Nakahito Kagura is being pulled along by his friends, if you can even call them that, to some kind of haunted mansion urban exploration thing. Meanwhile, the Imperial Army is gearing up for something. The kids find their path blocked by said military, so they have to find another route to the mansion, and once there, they send Nakahito in after a rumored head hidden in the basement. The place is filled with Frankenstein-esque machinery, while the lads outside book it from the sound of a large machine drawing closer. Eventually, Nakahito stumbles upon the title character of the series, Kurumi, with a lucky moment waking her up just in time to greet her new master, as her creator Tetsuo Aya no Koji find them, as well as the building coming under attack by a mech piloted by a woman named Amagi. They talk, something about military weapons development, and when Tetsuo orders Kurumi to fight the robot, she tells him to basically fuck off. More soldiers storm in. Tetsuo tries to escape, and in trying to capture him, Amagi captures Nakahito instead. Kurumi, of course, saves her new master, then BTFOs the robot before making her escape with Nakahito and Tetsuo in arm. Tetsuo leads them to a shrine. This happens to be Nakahito's home, and there they meet his brother. And Kurumi assumes the position of a clearly overly protective yandere. Meanwhile, the military pulls out a second angel from what used to be Tetsuo's home. This one's name is Saki, and some guy named Brando from Britain shows up to take part in waking her up. Elsewhere, Kurumi is in bed with Nakahito, because of course she is. Tetsuo did some recon of his home and knows the military has Saki and the hearts. This leaves Nakahito and Kurumi at home while the adults head into town, and Kurumi is jonesing for some orders. And of course, this takes the two that were supposed to stay at home into town under some horrible disguises, only to attract attention that does in fact follow them back. Meanwhile, the military is conducting tests on Saki. They somehow woke her up, and the combat tests are showing us just how dangerous steel angels are. And through all of this, Nakahito's life as an onmyoji doesn't stop, though it is interrupted as Tetsuo asks him to go to a second lab. There's some bit drama with Nakahito's friends before Kurumi chases them off, then soon after Saki attacks. And while it may seem one-sided, it's because Kurumi isn't fighting back. But why not? Well, she hasn't been told to. She really is a very simple robot girl. But right when it seems like Saki's going to land a killing blow, she powers down. There's some exposition on how they managed to pseudo-wake her up in the first place by Amagi, who's just there now. And Kurumi gets really excited to have a sister before coercing Nakahito into activating her, though Kurumi takes over out of pure yandere energy and wakes Saki up herself. But the second attack by Brando leads to Tetsuo's abduction. Back at the BBEG lair, there's foreshadowing of a third Steel Angel, more attacks against Kurumi, and possible Steel Angel copies. Meanwhile, the military, which seems to have been betrayed by the Brit, fire Amagi, making her a free agent. And back at the shrine, Kurumi and Saki rebuild it, with a little extra house to show us the yandere chain taking place. That's when Amagi shows back up to apologize, and show us that there's more moving behind the scenes than initially presented. The next day, Amagi, Nakahito, and the Angels head out to the second lab in Izumo. Taking the train, they make quick time, but Nakahito is feeling a bit sick, with military spies watching from afar. The doctor gets replaced, and the humans get rohypnoled, with fake doctor leading Kurumi away for an examination. When Saki walks in and finds the humans drugged, the fake doc makes a break for it. 2 days later, the party is still on standby because of a rock slide. All of this set up to introduce 3 other angels trying to capture Kurumi. When Nakahito gets wounded, Kurumi shows us just how much she outclasses the other angels, giving us another point of intrigue. The scene changes to a literal flying science castle. The BBEGs found the blueprints for the third Steel Angel, and are building her with the intent to defeat Kurumi. All while the mains get a lot of romcom time. But this third eventually shows up, and her name is Karinka. She was built for purpose, and right now that purpose is bodying Saki. She also seems to have a temper, with an attempted rescue leading to a fight between Kurumi and Karinka. While they both can dish out the hits, it looks like Kurumi might be losing. But that's when she breaks out the full choke-a-bitch mode. She almost violates TOS when Nakahito pulls her out of it for being a bad girl. But Karinka wasn't completely out yet, so she manages to escape and goes AWOL while the BBEG changes plans. Authored by Taishou, Steel Angel Kurumi published from October 1997 to December 2003, completing with 69 giggity chapters. And from October 1999 to April 2000, a 24-episode season would air, with a 12-episode season 2 airing from April to June 2001, both crafted by OLM, the same studio to craft Berserk, Apothecary Diaries, Komi Can't Communicate, Dark Gathering, and a bunch of Pokemon anime, including Pokemon: The Origin, which were co-crafted by Production IG and Zebek. The best Pokemon anime ever made, and it only got 4 episodes. There's a pretty big difference between Seasons 1 and 2 of Kurumi, since Season 1 is Taishou but Season 2 is 75 years later. But that big difference really only pertains to the setting and the main character. Swap out the Shota Onmyoji trainee for a college girl practicing music, and it's still kind of what you would expect. A very rom-com focused series, with the sci-fi being more of a setting than an actual feature of the story, especially with how characters have a tendency to drop one-liners out of seemingly nowhere after a serious thought, which really keeps it from being all that serious to begin with. I want to say it doesn't take itself seriously at all, but it does at times try to have a story about the Steel Angels and their purpose. Though I'm not really sure what the whole military plot is supposed to be about. It's kind of scattered, and mostly a backseat to what the blonde foreigners in their flying science castle are doing, and the angels doing their fanservice-y thing. And boy, do the main angels do some fanservice-y things. Kurumi being a total yandere for Nakahito. She's also kind of an idiot, which leads to the obsessive guard dog behavior, allowing for the calm in the romcom. The friendly dumb brute trope, except it's a moe maid. Saki is definitely not as much of a yandere, but she makes up for it with pure gooner hunger on physical display. And while Karinka starts out being hostile, she comes around to be as down bad for Nakahito as Kurumi is, giving him the tomboy option. All of this compounds with how Nakahito is an awkward 12-year-old caught up in a secret military weapons program because his peers shoved him into what they believed was an abandoned house. He's a very meek and insecure kid, stemming from his inability as an onmyoji, which is contrasted by his older brother, Kamihito. There's no conflict between the two of them, no sibling resentment. Nakahito just isn't all that bold. He also struggles to accept his position as Kurumi's owner and doesn't really seem to understand how she operates as an android, I guess she is. I mean, I don't think the angels can breed like the third types from Armitage could, but there's still that awkward teens Shota couple dynamic to play off of. And this mashup of historical military sci-fi and ecchi rom-com reflects in both the popularity and the score of the series. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well. It does a lot good, but it doesn't really have much in the way of standout feature for something that would initially draw your attention past the cover photo, which doesn't really tease much other than moe maids from a past era. And there are series that take the robot sci-fi and do a better job with it. Chobits, Cyber Marionette J, Maharomatic, and Heaven's Lost Property all being ones that come to mind. Which brings the question, why would you watch Steel Angel Kurumi? Well, you've watched any or all of the other aforementioned series and want more. It's just that simple. And I want to be very clear here. Steel Angel Kurumi isn't bad. It's not great. It's almost good. But it's not even close to bad. It's got moments of funny. It's got moments of action and combat. It's got moments of plot. And it really doesn't do well connecting them to each other. You can probably call that the primary flaw of the anime. The story is disjointed, with some minor plots like with the landslide leaving you thinking, but was that really necessary for the story? And maybe it really wasn't. It adds redundant explanation to the character that we're going to be getting anyway through better scenes, and if you left it out, it doesn't really change anything. But that's just how anime was at the time. I am the NBT. This has been the Noble Weeaboo. Like or don't, sub or don't, and thank you for watching. Steel Angel Kurumi is like a flavor of ice cream you picked up out of curiosity more than desire. It resembles something you like. It has things in it you'll probably enjoy, but you'll only know if you really like it after giving it a try. And if you're looking for mecha moe, historical Japan, and a bit of combat,
then you might as well give it a try.